Good afternoon, everyone. Happy Friday. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend planned. It is my birthday weekend, so I will do some Zoom meetings with some friends and crack a few craft beers at home. And so we're going to go over 15 cards here, starting off with David Hasselhoff. No, I'm just kidding. It's Veteran Bodyguard from Revised. This is a reserve list card. It is up 59%, seeing new all-time highs. This is a card actually I was looking at recently, and I was debating on purchasing. I may have to hold back on that if this price holds. But yeah, that's very shocking to see that one. Ashnod's Transmogrant. This is an Antiquities card. This is at 59% from $2.19 to $3.50 now. Antiquities is one of the older sets in Magic the Gathering, and there's a lot of reserve list cards in that, and some of them are pretty cheap copies available too. Old Man of the Sea from Arabian Nights. This is a reserve list card, and it is up 66%, and it's seeing new all-time highs, surpassing its previous highs in 2018 with the buyouts then, and it's up $300 to $500 today. And we also have Lord of the Undead, not a reserve list card. This is from 10th edition. This is up 72%, seeing a new all-time high from $13.29 to $22.94. Now, there is other versions of this card. It was printed in a lot of sets. If you want to find a cheaper copy available, there is one for 8th, I believe, and maybe 9th edition. But that also has that white border, so if you want black border, you're not going to be happy with that. Dark Pact from Revised. This is beautiful art on this reserve list card. It is up 72% from $3.40 to $5.88, seeing new all-time highs. A lot of revised cards recently have been spiking on these lists, and especially revised reserve list cards as well. But I just love the art on this card, and if you can find it for under $3, I think it's a steal. Eladamri, Lord of the Leaves. This is up 75% today from $79.99 to $139.99, and this is a reserve list card. Perhaps one of the best elves you can use in Commander, as it's also a legend, so you can actually use it as your Commander as well. But it's seeing new all-time highs. Incredible. Anzarin Ruins from Homelands. More reserve list buyouts happening. This is Homeland, so there's a lot of print run from this set. It is up 78% from $8.12 to $14.50. But, you know, supply is starting to dry up on a lot of these older sets because people are seeing these as high collectible items. Now we have Commander Greven Ilvek from Tempest. This is another reserve list card, and it is up 82% today from $438 to $801 with new all-time highs. This is incredible. And these are from the sets where they didn't have color symbols to change from rare to uncommon, so be careful and check from some of your bulk bins because you might actually have some reserve list cards in there. Reflecting Mirror from the Dark. This is up 85% from $241 to $447. Now, this is quite an aggressive spike. And you know what? The Dark, it's one of the bigger print runs from the older sets, but there's still supply. Looks like it's drying up. And that's why you're seeing a new all-time high here today. A lot of old cards being bought up, not just reserve list cards we're seeing here today on this list. Our next card we're going to talk about is Karvex Spite from Visions. This is a reserve list card, and it is up 116% from $177 to $384, seeing new all-time highs. And this is from Visions, so there was a lot of copies available at one point, but they're drying up. River Delta. This is actually a card that I brought up last week about potential buys, and you know what? Good thing I pulled the trigger on this because now it's spiking. So if you guys took my advice and bought a few copies, congratulations, because this is up 130% from $156 to $3. Dwarven Thaumaturgist. Wow, that's a hard one to say. Looks like one of the characters from Game of Thrones. It is up 183% from $5.99 to $17, seeing new all-time heights. And apparently Weatherless was a pretty big print run for an old set, but doesn't look like it's the case here. Dwarven Pony from Homelands. This is another reserve list card. It is up 184% from 99 cents to $2.82, and that's under $1 reserve list cards. I think they're worth buying a few copies if you have the money. If you have, even if Homelands, which is a pretty, massive print run set. But we have Arabian Nights card here. Luluvi Wolf version 2. This is up 272% from $9.34 to $34.79. Wow. This keeps spiking recently. I think it's really trying to find its price point, and it's getting a bit of a retraction here. Implements of Sacrifice from Fallen Empires, another reserve list card, up 326% from 82 cents to $3.50. And you know what? It's people are just looking at any reserve list card under $1 and they're just throwing their money at it. But I do actually think that this is I think it's an interesting card. I love the art. It's kind of reminiscent of Therese Nielsen style art, but a little different. But again, Fallen Empires, I think that's the highest print run of any of the older sets, so be careful out there paying these prices. Now I'm going to do a little segment I like to call What If Modern Comes Back. So we're going to look at some prices of modern staples and how much they've dropped and whether or not they could be good picks if you want to jump into that format. Snapcaster Mage from Innistrad. This one you can find its market price at $33, and this used to be a $50 to $70 card, sometimes even more than that in some cases when Modern was really hot. So if you're looking to buy into a lot of Modern decks, Snapcaster Mage is used in a lot, including Grixis Death Shadow and Blue-White Control. Living End, this is one of the most staple decks in Modern. It is a card that you need 3 copies of, and you can find them under $5 for its market price, which I think if you're going to try to buy into Modern, maybe it might be a good time. If you're looking at some of these prices, they're so low. Look at Karn Liberated Double Masters version. This is the one that came out very recently. It's the cheapest copy available for market price at $25.27. You do need 4 copies, however. But you know what? If you think Modern isn't going to go any lower than this, maybe it could be a good time for you to get into it. And Karn Liberated is a great copy and a great pickup. Liliana of the Veil from Innistrad. This is the cheapest version available. It is due to, you know, not having a little hollow print so at the bottom of the card. So, you know, obviously there's a lot of people who are selling fake copies. But if you can find it for $52 market price for an original copy of it, you know, using Jund, it's a great card. Using a lot of sideboards as well. Death Shadow. Now this is one of the top tier Modern decks, and there's a lot of variations of the deck, but the one thing is certain is that you do need a copy of Death Shadow. You need at least 4 of them in playset, and you can find them for market price for $5.52. And if you're looking to buy into the format, I think that's a pretty good deal. So today's biggest loser here today is Wood Elemental, and this is one of the winners recently. It is a reserve list card, but it is seeing a nice retraction of 66% from 232 to 78.50. With a nice healthy pullback, trying to find its price point now. Now, final thoughts on the market here today. It looks like the reserve list buyouts are back. Yesterday, we didn't have as many reserve list cards. We had the least amount of reserve list cards in the last 3 weeks, but it looks like that hunger is there again, and people are buying out even those cheaper copies of reserve list cards. We're seeing a lot of Homelands and Fallen Empires. You know, usually when you're seeing that, the first thought comes to mind is, well, if we're seeing buyouts for those cards and not just all revised Legends and Arabian Nights reserve list cards, maybe it is time to stop with the buyouts. But you know what? It looks like people are kind of rejecting Wizards of the Coast right now, and they don't want to buy into the new products, so they're buying more of those old cards, even Homelands, even Fallen Empires. Not a shock. Not a shock when you look at how bad Call Time has performed. And Call Time just came out today, and there's not a single Call Time card on this list. That's very shocking. And I said before, the success of 2021 for Wizards of the Coast is going to be very dependent on how good Call Time is done, and it doesn't look like it's doing very good. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And I'll see you Monday for another Market Movers. Until then. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you enjoyed it that much, maybe you'd like to tip me. I have a PayPal link that you can send me tips if you enjoy these videos, and I can keep bringing them to you that way, and it could help my cardboard crack addiction. So please think about supporting the channel in that way. If not, subscribe, like, leave a comment, and I will see you again in the next video.